podcast. Ooh, gotta fix that. No, no, no. I don't know. Maybe. Hold on. Hold up. I gotta change the name. Post talking. I didn't even change the. Trying to get back to it ASAP. Give me a mic test real quick. Talking ish. Jake, give me a mic test. Thank you. Yeah, you're back. Okay. Push it back. Maricon. All right, Talking Ish post show podcast. We're gonna get into the on Deadly Ground, which you just saw just now. Matter of fact, I'll probably run in the maybe I'll run in the background. That might be the smart play. Either way, did I? Oh yeah, I actually ran through. Yeah. So let me do that, which is gonna be funny because it's no music now. Good, perfect. And let me unlock that bad boy. Then let me do this to it. Hopefully it doesn't break on me. There we go. The power of modern editing. Close enough, right? Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, that'll work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I'm still clipping in the corner, but it's gonna bug me. But yes, we have with us Jimmy, aka Bash, the founder of DNS, aka Rookie Scum. We also have yeah, we also look a little bit. Now they should be able to hear you as well. Hold on, they should be able to hear you now. Actually, I had you muted before, so it's just me talking. So, give me say what's up, Jimmy.
Hi everyone, how you doing?
Okay, you're good. Jake, with us also the booker for Turmoil and Turmoil booker among other things. Hi, Jake.
OCW is a 20-year law. No, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. What's
so
up?
let's just get right to it because we got a lot to cover. It's just two of us today, well, three of us, so we should be able to go move at a quick pace.
That seems to be your choice. You got people banging down your doors.
Do we? There's people asking. Who the fuck's asking? Ain't nobody in
Brian going crazy right
Ain't nobody in VP right now. Fuck out of here. Nah, I fucking
Brian going crazy right now.
Asking, can I get in? Can I get in?
Let me get in there.
Let me get in there, please.
Look at you. He rejoined viewing party. He heard what you said.
Can I get in, please? Yeah, but then we gotta be quick then, because I'm not trying to be here for like 9 hours like we always are.
We're always gonna be here 9 hours.
No, I don't want to be in that. That sounded very Rex of you, by the way, too.
I don't accept the gig unless I assume to be here for 2+ hours, you know. But I love talking about pro wrestling, so it is what it is.
All right. So anyway, let's all that. He's really just hanging out. Oh,
he will yell the whole time. Oh my! Oh my!
That's disgusting.
Let's fucking go.
All right, we gotta keep it quick. Brian, gotta keep it quick.
All right.
You heard
first things first. No intro because don't have time.
No, there was an intro and it was good enough.
Yeah, there you go. Good enough is unfortunate when it comes to me, but it'd be like that sometimes. That being said, we have the first match. We have the Super S Cup Women's match. I guess we'll do Jimmy. We'll do Jimmy, Jake, and then L. Brian Jordan. I'll just say off rip. Matter of fact, I'll wait to the end. I'm fucking disgusted, but that's me. So do the order. Jimmy, go.
I really like the match. It surprised me the result in the end. The presentation was great on both sides. The gear, the entire entrance setup for both were great. Championship looks great, by the way, guys. I got to tell you that thing looks really nice as well. And overall, I think the dominance that Ashley displayed in the match was probably the most surprising thing for me. Felt like Emp was on the back foot the entire match, which we hadn't seen at all since she had wrestled, in the last, 2 or 3 months. So that was probably the most surprising thing for me. I mean, Ashley's stuff flows really nice, too. It's all about the heels and the kicks and things like that. And she really set herself up for success in a couple spots there. Had some really nice looking transitions from her signature to her finisher. And overall, I really enjoyed the match. It was just more one-sided than I expected.
Brian Jordan.
I don't think the domination was that very uncharacteristic. Ashley has proven time and time again as a handler that they are extremely good. Not any discredit to Emp. I just think with how the game plays at certain times, if you get on that back foot, you're low-key kind of fucked. But Yeah, someone said it in the VC, what's a GM to a queen? And Ashley really reminded everyone why she's the queen of OCW, and I can't wait to see what she does with the Pride title.
Jake.
Yeah, big shout out to Valkyrie. It was a collaborative effort for the World Championship redesign, but she really did the heavy lifting, or I guess Edo, the man behind the mystery, this time made no questions about who to go to here. This was all like it was the first draft that Edo put on the table, and I was like, yes, that is it. That is amazing. It's already been recreated in 2K24, but big shout outs to Edo for the assistance on the Pride Championship. I think it's a great representation. The white strap, obviously synonymous with the international and North American title too. So I think it fits right in. And I mean, a big concern is that the women don't have enough volume to hold a title like this. Well, we just had two major pay-per-view. We just had a major pay-per-view where we had two major women's championship matches on it. So I think that disproves that. I know what Jay is going to say, and on initial view, I did see it as well. But I do think that this was largely just an issue of Empress falling short early. She has a lot of things going on in her life right now that would take her attention away from a match like this and make her underestimate somebody like Ashley Moore, who always seems to show up whenever a new women's division accolade is ready to be claimed. And she did that here. I thought the original match that I watched, I had some problems with it, but watching it back here, Jay, you know this better than anybody. When we rewatch matches, it can be a whole new dynamic. And I think the beginning of this match was terrific, like back and forth, like both of these women know each other so well. But once Empress got into her own head and started falling behind quick, that's when Ashley took over. And it just makes sense. Ashley, queen of OCW, Ashley, three-time women's champion, and it makes sense that she would be the inaugural women's Pride champion. And two, just to address what Jay is going to say, initially we had the same kind of issue with like, she's moving too much, a little bit moonwalking, stuff like that. On rewatch, it wasn't that bad at all. She had two instances where she did walk out of range after a reversal, and she immediately walked back into range to give Empress a second chance. That's not a perfect thing to do. Like, obviously, you don't want to have to make that correction. You should be right the first time, especially given Ashley's pedigree. But it was much less egregious than it seemed initially, and I'm glad that reality shined through. So, yeah, need to do better on that, just like with the dodging, and she did do better. But I think overall, Ashley Moore proving why she is the most decorated woman in OCW history.
Well, the Jackson 5 count is actually Jackson 7. That shit's annoying. My thing is the following. I don't give a fuck who won. I don't care. But my thing is I don't like people changing up how they do things because something's on the line. Back in the day, in old OCW, the problem was I would have to fucking fib to people because if I didn't fib, people would play kind of like suspect. And I want to avoid that. So, that's why I don't like tournaments to begin with, because we've been pretty okay with tournaments and shit, but we still get kind of like suspect shit every now and again. So that's why I didn't like that. Now, if anyone wants to be fucking cute, it's because I don't give a fuck. I found this shit out like fourth hand after Ferg. I just cut it out. Just fucking fight. Like, that's why I always say dumb shit. Like, if I had a tournament with like Horse, Han and Jake, I'm good, because like they want to win, but they're not gonna fucking try to be different or try to justify their stupidity to like get a W. They're just gonna fucking go for it. Even fucking Bell, who wants to defend Ashley, that's cool. But like Bell straight up, like, to say if this would have happened to Bell, I would have felt the same way. It's like
Ashley's
just
also
relax.
Straight up. You just don't agree with
you
that.
You gotta fucking relax. So, grats on your fucking pixels, and we move on. What's the next segment?
Just bury it immediately. That's
bad. It gets me tight, and I don't want to discuss it anymore. I'm over it.
Whatever. I don't either.
Yeah. It's good, but just the delivery, because like it's been a kind of a season issue where we've seen FPR issues and breaks low key get brushed under the rug, kind of like how Cass just put in cause. It's fair. It's a fair thing, but I'm not gonna overgeneralize it by saying Ashley only did that because it was a title match. But
I didn't say this match? Because I said because people in general get like, some people get like, oh, because it's special. Because the last time that shit happened was actually versus Bobby Batty. Prior to that, it's been pretty smooth sailing leading up into it. So it's like, cut it out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We got Scotty and Jinx and their actual video thingy. I dug it. Good on them. I don't know who the fuck did it, but they're trying. Stop using the HUD. So we'll do. I guess we can wrap that with the match. The match itself, didn't hate the match. I was under the impression that Scotty X was gonna shit the bed, and I apologize to Scotty X in advance because that was fucking clean as a whistle on both parties. It was great. I'm glad it was on the pay-per-view. My only qualm is that unfortunately there was no fucking audio, which is a pay-per-view. So like we can't never do that again. That's very embarrassing because if it's on a regular Friday, that's fine because whatever. But as rookies and shit, we can't do that because what happens now in my ape brain goes, oh, rookies, no, and then that's the problem. So we can't like, you gotta, that's why it's good to have two parties actually recording just in case, because, hey, does Sky have his recording? Sky didn't record. Oh, well, fuck me then. So that's one to take note. Other than that, the match itself was good. I don't know if it'd be match of the night, but it was really up there. That stupid audio shit took me out. But in rewatching it, I don't think nobody else noticed but me and Jake. So what the fuck do I know? So we'll do Jake, Brian Jordan, then Bash. Go.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You have to record. I did tag him. You gotta not. It's the last match of the season for you, so you just can't be recording with audio on a pay-per-view. That's no bueno. But because it was their individual pay-per-view debuts, it's fine, especially because the match was awesome. Each of them had an FPR break that happened like back to back, essentially.
Yeah,
so it was like I mentioned. Like I mentioned, yeah, I didn't notice it initially, but on the rewatch, it was like like I said, penalties offset, replay second down, and they did, and it was a great match. The audio was the only issue. In the long scheme, it's a bigger issue than when we're all enjoying the show together in VP because you can't really hear it that much. But the match was excellent overall. People were going for the kill, the Platinum Star press. The story worked out the way that it did. A lot of those sequences between Jinx and Scotty were great. And then it put Scotty in this like underdog coming from behind corner at the end. And as we'll see later tonight, he wasn't able to get out of that corner. And Jinx put him down. Couple of Samoan drops. There you have it.
Brian Jordan.
So I think with the no match noise, and then there were a few little blips where FPR was kind of shady or almost could have been disastrous. It checked me out a little bit. I'm happy for both of the guys for making a pay-per-view. It doesn't matter what pay-per-view you make on when you make on one, and it's a big deal. So that is an extremely, nod to you on that. You guys did the work. You deserve to be on there. The hype package, once again, you put the effort in. No one here is a professional video maker. If you are, go fuck yourself and go work for a real wrestling company. But yeah, a nice start to what I hope both of them take forward and just continue to improve. It's just take this, don't get in your fifis over it. Shit happens, but don't let Gorilla Brain J get activated and keep it pushing.
They need to. That's how you get better. Before Bash, the only thing with the actual video cropping, that's about it. Number one way to have a good thing when you can afford it is basically just get rid of that fucking HUD or mask it or hide it or whatever. Bash, you're up.
So I enjoyed the match. I thought they went back and forth. The action was entertaining. There were a few things that detracted from it, including the crowd noise, obviously, and then the FPR breaks, which, they got to get under control. But, that's part of the growing process, I would say. Overall, I guess it's, where did he go from here? Where does Scotty go from here? Where does Jinx go from here? And, it kind of did their characters justice. In terms of the match and getting them out there and, a way that, they probably haven't been before. So overall, I thought it was a good match and, platform for both of them.
Straight up, no chaser. Moving right along, we have a commercial. Then we have Dark Sue in the back. We'll do freeform. We'll do Bash, Jake, then Brian Jordan.
I'm digging the whole transformation from Isu, from the whole colorful and upbeat thing
Suplex.
I'm sorry, who was this?
Dark Sue.
Suplex.
Oh, Sue, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We'll get to Isu later. But Sue, again, yeah, I'm thinking ahead here. But Sue was another interesting change. Sue's been very much a babyface for the entirety of this season and always tried to do the right things. And she's finally kind of hit that breaking point. Which is kind of in line with where she's at in her recent actions, the things she did against Hifumi, after the match, for example, their tag match. So I overall think that this is just another step in that direction that, Jamie set out for the character, and I enjoyed the short little segment.
Jake.
I don't like it. Let's move on.
Brian Jordan.
I think the Reese family has a very interesting dynamic, as both Sue and Mark both really seem to kind of be on that trajectory where they both keep slipping up at the absolute worst moment, where, Mark at Anniversary took his eye off the prize, got pinned. Sue lost to Deborah. Sue keeps losing, and you're starting to see these shades of her where she's finally getting fed up. I'm not in love with it just yet, just because I'm so used to a lot of fucktards characters being baby faces, but knowing who's behind Sue, I'm sure it'll be great in the long run. But right now I'm with Jake. I know.
And jokes aside, I mean, the attack on Mayoshi, they had history prior to that coming into Turmoil 311, so this does a good job of at least establishing her motivation, and it wasn't just Mayoshi specific. It was more kind of macro in the sense that, like, I've been pushed around for too long and it's not going to happen anymore. So on that front, I do appreciate that, but I don't like it.
I know I don't like it. All right, moving on. We have another commercial. We have we have Cino. Both of these videos in fucking 15:9p. Great, but it just whatever. Good stuff anyway, I guess. We have the tag match. Video was really good. The footage was a little dicey here and there, but that's not really anything that can be helped unless you fucking run filters or whatever. Music choice. Don't hate the music choice, but the reason I don't like the music choice, I've already said it a million fucking times. That being said, I'll hold my thoughts on the tag match. Actually, I'll say it now. I fucking hated the tag match, but to be clear, it had nothing to do with anybody involved in the tag match. They tried to make the best of whatever that situation was. So for that, they get a kudos. But some of these things don't work. And when it was pitched, I should have just been like, nah, but it's like, you gotta let it go. Like, this shit reminded me of fucking I said 2016, but I don't remember when we just had those fucking long multi-man matches. Like they're trying to win. That's the thing. They're trying to fucking win. Like, no one's trying to fuck around. They're not fucking about. It's just, I think that when it's 3 separate teams versus let's say the FI, which is similarly in length, but even the entrances in the FI alone was maybe 12 minutes or 16 minutes. When I loaded this up and the entrances were done in the first 4 minutes, I was like, fuck my life. And then I try, it's just, again, to be clear, it's not on anybody in the thing and the whole dressing up like the TLC people, cool, whatever. It's just, I never want to see this again. I never want to see a fucking ladder match again. Unless, you know what would have been better? If we did the Lucha Fuck Party, that would have did it. That would have been the fucking ticket. This thing was just, it reminded me also of that match with the twins, that fucking ladder match. Oh, this is great. It fucking stunk. Thank God they realized it stunk too. But yeah, this thing just fucking, it killed me internally. And I didn't watch it twice. I went to go fucking do something. I think I went to the store real quick. I couldn't. Again, to be clear, no knock on anybody participating. It's just, fuck that stipulation. Never again with 3 separate teams. Just gonna, if ever it's going to be with multiple people that way, I don't know. But that being said, there was something else. Oh, the part with John, that should have been maybe later on. It kind of took the wind out of the win victory for Grit and Glory. But either way, like I said, thank fuck somebody won. So I'm happy for that. We'll do Bash, then Jake with the a calming response, and then Brian Jordan because he was in the match. Go.
I enjoyed a lot of the things about the match. I think obviously when you go through a match type like that, it's going to be a long match, right? That's the first thing. Was that match went a long time, and everybody was trying to win. It's just the nature of the game. People don't stay down that long. You only have a finite window to go up and get those types of things, and you have to time it perfectly, and everybody's got to be down. And this is one of those things that can snowball into being a bunch of time. So,
can I just say something real quick, Jimmy? There was to cut you over quick. There was a point where I know the viewing audience because I actually too as I got back, I heard the audience, like there was a spot, I think when Devin was climbing, I think it was maybe 20 something minutes into the match, and people got excited. The funny thing is, when I was watching it, I got excited, but then I saw that I was like, oh yeah, but they got excited for it, and then it didn't happen. Then we go for another fucking fucking 25 minutes. So yeah, the match stunk. I mean the stip stunk. Because Jimmy, continue. Sorry, I want to point that out.
The thing with it is though, like when you can like springboard, drop kick a ladder and knock it over, for example, that's going to add to the problem because it's really easy for people to knock down those ladders. Then those ladders don't stay as sturdy as they would, and I know they're bumping in the ring and stuff like that, but they just don't stay as sturdy. So I think that's just part of the problem. And overall, they probably would have been better served with a different match path if they were going for 3 teams. Some type of, an elimination match of some sort would have been better, just to see the teams, do that. It would have at least been more worth the time. But I really appreciated the different spots in the match. The 12-foot ladder spot where John knocked, I forget who he knocked off the top turnbuckle. Well, I think it was Ryvon. And so he could do the spot because he put the ladder there. That was pretty funny. But overall, I enjoyed it. I just thought, based on the type of match, it went long. But very happy for Grit and Glory. They have done so much team building through role plays over the entire season that I've read. So they really have built up to be this team and deserving of being tag team champions. Not to say that Future Idiots or Mass Effect wouldn't be deserving either, but they really have put in a lot of character work to get here. So congratulations to them, and looking forward to seeing what they do.
Well, Ryvon's fucked for the foreseeable future, like 3 days anyway. Jake, you're up.
Yeah, well, we are not coming back until mid-April, so that doesn't really work for you, does it?
That's the joke, brother.
So yeah, I think it's on initial watch, because we had so much pay-per-view to watch, it did drag so long. Like it's such a long match, and I think that's the biggest issue with it. And it is, like you said, part of the stip. I think overly burying it is a little simplistic. I would also disagree with anybody who this is awesome, this was match of the night, because that's also stupid. But to say that it was dog shit or not watch, that's also overboard. That's a ridiculous opinion to have, in my own opinion. Adam, I think, said it the best in the Twitch chat. It's like, I laughed throughout it, and this is me on second watch, because initially I came in like, oh god, this is a slog, whatever. But once you get in that different environment, once it's a part of the full show, the full product, it doesn't hit the same way. And that goes for this match and all matches. So Adam's a great base point to use here, because he wasn't a part of that commentary. He wasn't a part of you looking at it in the back end before it aired. So to give that perspective, I laughed through it because it had plenty of moments, and that was what is important. It was super fucking long, way longer than it should have been. But again, we all agree that that was a part of the game. And despite that, they made it full of plenty of fun moments. But, and this is what Adam said, but I never want to watch it again. That's also true. It's just super long. This is the future investment syndrome, I think. I'm not going to sit here and bury it or whatever, but I do want to say that for the comments on the attires, it was a fun pop initially, but I do think that the length made it drag on a little more than it should have, in all facets. Whether you're talking about the weapons, the attires, it doesn't really matter. The length itself was what was like, okay, the joke is over now. But by the end, it worked out. History will just see that Grit and Glory came in here in this volatile situation and came out as the champions. I will agree with you, Jay. The John Carter promo should have come later in like a press spot. I think that would have been more impactful. But the match itself, it was super fucking long. You don't want to do this regularly, but in terms of pacing for the whole show, I don't think it was that big of a deal. I don't think it was a shitter like you're used to seeing in the mid 2010s.
That's actually 2016, but it doesn't matter. Brian,
yeah,
Jordan,
that is the mid 2010s. Do you want to split hairs on this?
Yeah, we'll split hairs all fucking day, Hoot.
Okay, cool. So 2015 is mid 2010s to you, just so we're clear.
Yes.
Just that 1 year.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes. Brian, Jordan, you're up.
Yeah, on paper, we all loved the idea of it. A little small thing that I'm sure Jake will probably get a chuckle out of, and Jimmy, because they play the game. It only took us 2 attempts to do that match, so that was a massive W. But yeah, no, all of us even agreed, when we were done with the match, that it was holy fuck, because yeah, it did take forever, man. We spent almost an hour trying to get that match done, and I would agree with a lot of it. You know, it was definitely more so the game just, you know, not essentially being built for these multi-man matches, because we had it multiple times where we literally, Jake said it in viewing party, where finishers and signatures were constantly getting hit, and yet it was the ring almost always had 2 to 3 people in it at any given moment. So it's like, on paper, the record books will look back that you know, Grit and Glory won, as you said, and that feud is probably the start of Ryvon's descent to death because of what happened in that match. I was thinking about cutting the match up and just kind of giving you like a director's version and like trying to cut it down, but I honestly,
You made the right choice there.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
People just would have said.
Yeah,
People just would have speculated that you were doing some bullshit because of the people involved.
And that's what I didn't want. I didn't want Jay to have to sit there and even himself think like, what the fuck happened? So I was like, you know what? This will probably be a one and done. We'll probably not ever see this sort of stipulation. But we even said in hindsight, we probably should have just went with a Bermuda Triangle-esque, or just made this match a Extreme Rules triple threat tag match with elimination on, you know, something like that. But yeah, 3-peat, baby. We out here.
Okay. Well, good summation on that. What's commercial? What do we have next? It's not the show me what we have next. Oh, we have Victor Carmine. Victor Carmine confronting Talos. Was not Talos. It was Samuel Omen, and the crowd went mild, which was fucking disrespectful as fuck. But either way, I was sports entertained because there's still beef with Omen. If you read the tea leaves from before, Omen ain't forget that shit. So we'll do Brian, Jordan, Bash, then Jay, because it was a segment. Go.
I was surprised. I really thought we were about to get an impromptu match. I think this is just kind of an example of the selflessness of the handlers behind Victor on what happened in this video, continuing to build up DNS, especially Omen. I have been a person who has vocally with my voice and typing, why I have not been a huge Omen lover. So to see him make an appearance on the pay-per-view and to see him, you know, look like a big bad, I really hope he takes it forward and uses this as his snowball, because DNS has a huge plate to step up to in season 19. So yeah, good shit.
Bashy bash bash.
All right. So that's kind of the idea, I guess. You know, speaking from a DNS perspective, you know, we're trying to get him to look more like the monster, you know, unstoppable force that we want him to look like. So that's kind of a focus and his focus. So I expect to see good things in that respect. You know, and Victor Carmine, you know, he'd been a thorn in DNS's side for a very long time. So it was time to finally just, you know, take him out and put him out to pasture, if you will. Just like there's some other stars eventually who might meet that fate. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just saw a get fucked nerd in my head and made me laugh out loud because I'm just watching Victor get choked out. Jake, you're in the segment. Please speak.
Yeah, Victor Carmine came up short in the North American Championship match against Talos. Wanted a call out for a rematch, and obviously that did not happen. Samuel Omen, I did love. Somebody said it in VP, I think, but it was real quick. As soon as it came out, it was like Samuel Omen doesn't forget. And yeah, this goes back to
brother.
It was somebody, but yeah, I think it was you. But Victor Carmine's whole like return from insanity was with Omen. That was the first feud. They fought on Ambition, and then they had a blow off on a TV show after that. So that connection is there, and DNS obviously has been fucking with Carmine the whole time. Carmine is he's dead, so rest in peace, or maybe not. I mean, who really knows?
Who really knows the nature of a man who's got flattened by a bigger man named Oman? Man.
But Brian and Bash said everything that was the point. You know, Omen is the killer, and you know everybody has had really their moment in DNS to shine, and I think Omen included. But it makes more sense, you know, for it to be him now, especially because he wasn't involved in that big ending segment on the Go Home show with Pew. So, not directly anyway, but DNS on top.
Lol. Nice. No, I dug it. It's just
I mean,
fucking the funny part was like I need Omen to do something. Then Omen does something. Like, shut up. Anyway.
Yeah, but what? I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
And I know I'm not gonna entertain that. I understand, Jake Allen. We have. We're going right to Cena versus Mark Reese. One of the temperature changes of the evening. Very fun match to watch. Back watching it twice was actually because me and Jake always watch it. We watch everything, we commentate, and then we watch it back with y'all. Fucking at the end, it came down to the wire. That clutch rev on the fucking Slaminator. Oh my goodness, and followed up. I don't know, entertaining match. Fucking hometown victory for Benjamin Ceno Franklin with his fucking weird ass Comic-Con inspired Smythe D Wonder on his ass attire. All for it. We'll do Brian, Jordan, Jake, then Bash.
So this match, it kind of left me wanting a little bit more in terms of I really wish we would have gotten a hype package. I think this feud had more than enough to where you could have done something. It's not like oh fuck you should have done this, like damn, missed opportunity. But I said it earlier today. Ceno is in a really weird position, at least in my eyes. He really presents himself at certain points as a babyface and as a heel. And it's kind of confusing because I want to boo the guy, but like obviously for the match, it's in Toronto. Yes, in kayfabe, he's going to be a babyface. But something I feel like some people, not just him, but just people in general, when it comes to role playing and wrestling, is you want to build up your opponent. Saying Mark Reese is out of his prime does nothing for you after you beat him. If you want to be like a dick about it, because it's like, well, you beat out of prime Mark Reese. You got a great victory, and you should have just built him up a little bit better. But the match itself served a great purpose. Mark Reese yet again stumbles at the last moment and is not able to get a very much needed win on pay-per-view. So the path that both of those guys are going to go now into season 19 is very interesting because Ceno now beat a certified main eventer, regardless of what people want to say. Mark Reese is world championship caliber any day. So it's kind of like, all right, let's see how you go from there. And now Mark is like, all right, you've just suffered a lot of big defeats this season. How do you come back from that?
Fair enough. Who's next? Is it Jake or Bash? I can forget. Bash, you're up.
All right. So definitely the whole thing with the hype package was disappointing. Like I would like to see everybody have a hype package on a pay-per-view match, and I get, people get busy and they've got lots to do in terms of life and just maybe even things they're doing within OCW. So
yeah,
this stuff happens. Overall, I thought it was one of the more entertaining matches of the night. I dug Mark Reese's gear, by the way. I kind of like that Hogan like color scheme.
Yeah.
So that I thought that was pretty cool. I immediately was like, oh, I know that red and yellow look. So I enjoyed that. The match overall was very back and forth, and I mean that timely reversal was very important on the Slaminator. I thought Cena was very aware of the pounce, and that coming so. He did a good job of scouting his opponent and looking like he was prepared. It looked like a good wrestling match. The guys were both, really in tune with each other and looked like they had good chemistry, in terms of playing with one another. And I really enjoyed their feud, and it spawned naturally off obviously the championship match from Anniversary. And, again, hopefully this is the thing for Cena that gets him to the next level. Now we'll see what happens with Mark Reese. Obviously, reading into the tea leaves here, seeing what happened with Sue, and her kind of heel turn, if you will. I mean, is Mark that far behind? He's frustrated. Maybe he's thinking about retirement.
Don't know Dark Reese.
But it's one of those things that I have a lot of questions now that need to be answered in season 19.
Jake.
I love this match.
Yes.
I plan on talking about the whole hype package thing later. I usually tend to add points to thing versus docket one way or another. if you have a feud that is worth a pay-per-view spot, that is its own benefit. If you're able to add a hype package, especially if it warrants it emotional wise, like which this one did, Brian is correct, then I would add points, but I won't. I'm not willing to dock it because of it. And I think actually having less hype packages on this one made it flow a little bit better instead of like OCW19 had one for everyone, which I don't think was a bad thing. But I don't think it's a bad thing here to have kind of it broken up. And it made the ones that we'll see a little bit later, notably for the title matches, stand out a lot more. So for this one, the match itself was terrific. It was back and forth, I think, the whole time. Mark Reese had the big push in the middle section. C-Note's super indie-rific moveset worked very, very well against Mark Reese's big powerhouse stuff. The Oklahoma Stampedes back-to-back, like that was kind of the story of the match, was all the Stampedes, whether it was off the top turnbuckle or out of a grounded position or whatever. We just saw it there on the stream, the counter to the Stacks driver, which you don't see very often because it's a real quick move. So to see it on pay-per-view, Mark Reese hitting him with that dropout powerbomb was sick. And yeah, Jay, you already hit the nail on the head. That finish was terrific. The big Slaminator, he tries it again, and another rare reversal we don't see very often is the Slaminator getting mid-moved. Yep. It happened, and I think I agree with everybody in chat at that point. You go right for cashing out after that reversal, but he opted to try and play a little bit more mind games. It worked out in the end. He hit the ATL, the cashing out, or whatever it's called at the end. And I think it was must win for both guys in terms of their momentum heading into season 19. That's what made it so compelling. Both of them were in real compromised positions, and it's got to be somebody, right?
Yeah.
So C-Note was the winner here. I don't think it hurts Mark Reese. I think he can bounce back as a babyface bigger than ever in season 19.
The freaking rolling flow popped me. I can't. They live on
accidental homages.
Yeah, exactly right. I plan to do that. Yeah, that's what he meant to do that. That's what he planned to all along. That was the plan. Indeed, you're right. Either way, good fucking match. At the start of the temperature changing. We have Dog and Bash. There's a role play that will be on the show later on, so you guys really don't. There's nothing to really discuss on that. At that point, I would just suggest that you read. But it's nice to see Bash and, or rather, Mid Dog Mid Dad walk up to Bash and be like, "Hey man, what's good?" And read the words. So we'll go from there. Moving right along, we have another segment. While I fix my damn linky link here real quick. We have what's coming up next. Is that a match? I think we have the Owen, the international Owen Sheldon hype package. Very well done. I saw people complaining about like the fucking subtitles, I guess, because they're up, but it doesn't matter. It fucking great package. Very pro wrestling ish. Can't really ask for anything more. Match itself, champion coming out first was weird. A champion not having his Tron was fucking weird. Match itself was it reminded me of very just standard WWE Raw match, one and done, but it be like that sometimes. Chopped his titties off and hits the power bomb. Guess it hold yo. I guess fucking Owen really is Gunther now, because fucking chop power bomb, you're not getting up. All he needs now is a fucking flying body splash, and we can call it a fucking day. Big win for Owen, international champion. I think that might be his first one. I know he was like 2-time or whatever, North American. The fucking curse, I guess, for Sheldon continues, and I guess we're going to see what goes on in the interim. Anyway, we'll do Jake, Brian, Jordan, and then Bash. You're up.
Well, I've got problems with you.
What?
Minimizing it to a Raw TV match, but that's, I guess, separate. I mean, we operate on such a different level. You can't just compare it to somebody that is very finely tuned, that has to fall within a timeline of 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on their show. I don't know. It feels like it's minimized, but that is not what I got from this. It doesn't have to be, not intended, but it comes off as such, and that's what I'm telling you. So yeah, that, and I've talked to you about this. Comparing anything that we do, oh, this is AEW booking, this is just a TNA segment. Like, we are our own thing at this point. It's all hybrid anyway. That's why that's what makes it so exciting. Is you don't really know what's going to happen, because anything can happen, as we saw tonight, whether you like it or not. This video package, my only problem with it is the differing attentions. Like, I like the creativity, because it's something we've never seen before. I don't love having the lyrics on the bottom and the quotes on the top, I would fix that. But that was really my only issue, pacing wise and aesthetic wise, in terms of the story they were trying to tell. Marvelous work. Even if you cut off that letterbox and just get rid of the text and the lyrics, they could have just aired that and it would have been tremendous. But I do understand trying to mix it up. Obviously, things have to evolve, and you want to find your own way. But Owen's matches always have this kind of grandiose effect, and I don't think it hurt it at all to have it on the high package. The match itself, champion coming out first is always dangerous. I am not one of those people that was like, oh, champion comes out first, he's definitely losing. But to your point, Jay, the champion coming out and having like no trons, no like presentation at all, that was a bit disappointing. Once we get to the match, though, they told the exact story that you would expect them to tell. It was perfectly balanced. They were chopping and not chopping, but striking and hitting back and forth. It was much slower than what we had seen up to that point, I think, was what made it stand out to me. It's one of my favorite matches of the night, even if it was just one powerbomb, because of the finish and because of the pace that they held. It worked for both characters perfectly. They all came out. It made it seem like a big fight feel. The ending was great. Owen opted not to chop at all throughout the entire match, and then boom, the one he hit completely ruined Sheldon's night. Picked him up, powerbomb, dunzo. It puts Owen over in a big way. I think there's positives to be found no matter how matches go, whether they're seven-star classics like we'll talk about later, or whether they are very short matches. There are ways to put people over there, and Owen looked like such a killer here. And you brought it up on commentary, Jay. This was the second time that Sheldon has held a major championship and has not been able to defend it in his first attempt. So we'll see how he handles that narrative going forward.
Fucking folded, Brian Jordan next.
So it's funny because I actually disagree with Jake about the quotes and then the lyrics, because I feel like at certain points, and I don't know if this is done by intention or just maybe lucky timing, but I liked how some of the lyrics like the one that sticks in my head is it was like traitor, and then it showed it showed something of Sheldon, and I really liked how that all kind of blended together. Honestly, I would have to say it's probably one of the best hype packages that OCW has ever seen. This match for me felt like Owen's true coming out party. I feel like for whatever reason, people didn't really give him the respect that probably either he deserved or how he felt when it came after the after he beat El Parca for the North American Championship, after he beat Doc Green. So to see him kind of go in this match and to do what he said he was going to do against Sheldon and kind of little brother him and show him like, hey, you did need me and Frazier, you did need us, and I'm going to show you exactly why you needed us. And to see him hit it with the one chop, one power bomb, that's fucking mint. At certain times, I don't want to see 5 to 6 finishers exchanged in a match. Like it is a nice like break when a match is boom boom done, like definitive. There you go. We're not indie-rific where it's like, oh, a kick out, a kick out, a kick out. It's like sometimes, dude, it's just not your night. The presentation, I'll also agree. I really hope Sheldon, regardless of title feud with Owen or whomever after this into season 19, I really hope we see your proper presentation. You had a beautiful attire. I could only imagine what you probably could have cooked up when it came to Trons with that. Not everyone knows how to do everything, and that's totally fine, but one of Jay's famous sayings, closed mouths don't get fed. Wonderful feud. I hope it's not done for my own personal enjoyment. I think it's probably one of the best feuds we've seen all season 18, and a tremendous performance by Owen for winning his first international championship.
That's you, Bash.
Well, to kind of continue with Brian's point, I think you have a match like this when there's more legs to the feud, right? You if you're gonna go out there and try and make it a 7.5-star classic in the Tokyo Dome, as we were referencing earlier, then maybe that's okay to be one and done. But they left me wanting more again, right? And that's the thing in wrestling that you got to do with the fans is you got to deliver, but then you got to leave them wanting more. So I didn't think, and it's funny that Jay mentioned the WWE TV match because that's really what I was thinking when I was watching the match for the
Careful.
first time, right? But it's not in a bad way. Not
Ditto.
it's in a way if we can have a match in here that flows like a WWE TV match, if you will. It's not about when it airs or whether it's a pay-per-view match versus TV match, whatever. It's really the idea that these guys have enough chemistry and enough know-how to make it look like a TV product, right? When it's a competitive thing. So for me, that's actually not a bad thing at all. These guys really delivered in terms of the match. Obviously, the Tron stuff I won't rag on too hard. You guys have already mentioned that. But I'm interested to see what Owen does with his new heel platform as the champion. I think he'll continue with Sheldon for a little while. But he really did come out of this in dominating fashion. So really enjoyed it. I want to see what these guys do in the future.
Well, the forecast is it'll probably be a dick. Go ahead, Jake Allen.
Yeah, sorry. I was just going to say I had a new point that came up because clearly I've been misunderstood on previous comments. This match right here is a great example. We have spent all of the time talking about functional storyline developments. We're talking about things that matter in their history and like the actual storyline elements that they put forward. And we did not have to spend so much time talking about FPR or ethics or this and that. So to anybody that thinks that I'm defending any FPR breaking of any kind, this match is what you want to be. We should not have to spend time disagreeing, agreeing, talking about in general FPR breaks on any pay-per-view at this point in OCW's history. So to those who forced us to make that sidebar, please do better. And to those who did not, which will be this match and I think going forward, great job. Just excellent work. And Jim made a point that this may not be the end of Sheldon Owen. I sure hope it isn't. Because I would love to see Sheldon get another crack at this guy in a new environment with 2K24.
Well, it goes one of two ways. He either puts on sneakers and beats the fuck out of Owen, or he fucking makes nice eventually after realizing some shit. Who the fuck knows? I guess we're gonna find out in season fucking 19. I'm gonna say 20 because I'm lost. Anyway, moving on. We have a
glad he didn't shake that fucking loser's
fucking
hand.
dork. We have the post tag team. Post tag team backstage promo. Didn't hate it. I don't mind the use of AI, but as I said on the stream itself, basically, if you're gonna use AI, then go the extra step and just fucking rotoscope the titles, because that's what I've done for people before. I was gonna do it for the thumbnail, like I said, I just couldn't be bothered. It's too much time, so just do that. Other than that, because if you don't, it's kind of annoying, but it's fucking me nitpicking, so who the fuck cares? If anyone wants to chime in, going on, we'll do Brian Jordan, Bash, Jake, go.
Yeah, I loved it. Rye has been an integral part to Grit and Glory, and Rye is an absolute unsung hero, and that man deserves his flowers. Was absolutely everything that he does. So yeah, I love you, Rye. Thank you for doing that, and back to the action.
Jake.
Yep.
Oh, actually, Bash.
Yep. I thought it was a good, effective promo, putting her guys over, that they won the championship again. More team building from Grit and Glory. And Riot wins, whether Mass Effect wins or Grit and Glory wins.
Jake.
I'm gonna be encouraging people to use new tools and explore different creative mediums until there are none left. And right now we are not even close to that. So I'll say about the AI stuff, it is good in individual spurts, especially with pictures or like enhancing images that are standalone. But when you're doing a video like this and you're bouncing back and forth, you can even see in the video, like halfway through, Raya's like, I can't do this on every single clip. So you don't even see the issues with the tag team titles. So I think maybe try and find a little bit of a better balance. Adam made a great point in the chat. This is where that John Carter promo should have went. I think what would have been, what is great about the tag title match? The match was super long, but the presentation around it was good. The story is good. Bobby showing up here and talking her talk and being a front-facing manager, which is tough to do sometimes. I can tell you from experience, trying to put the wrestler over and also be your own thing is difficult. I think Bobby's doing a great job of meeting that middle ground right now. The AI stuff could be dialed back just a little bit, and I would have liked a separate John segment. But as she said, G&G on top, not what I expected to see at all, but they have plenty of competitors heading into season 19.
Jim, wait, is that the last one or was Jim?
That's it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
We're going to Spider and Blacksmith.
Sorry, brain. Yeah, so we have the Spider Blacksmith video package. I will say this. Horse is not one of the he's not one of like the top tier video people, but the difference between now and recently, or rather then and recently, he's starting to pick up little things here and there, so it's progressively getting better. Kind of reminds me of when Jake did his whole thingamabob and was one way and then he evolved into this and shit like that. So it's nice to see that evolve. He's pretty okay with his music. It's very one-dimensional, but that's a personal taste. He always does the thing where he transitions to another song for a pivotal moment, and he did it here. I fucking love the horse. I ain't got nothing bad to say. Match itself, match itself was very sports entertaining, and it was saved because Mateo knows how to play the video game. Had Mateo not known how to play the video game, this conversation would have a very different temperature, or we probably wouldn't have it at all because we probably wouldn't be seeing the match. That being said, overall fun match. Horse completed his bullshit. One of my favorite stories that's just kind of happened organically in the past, I don't know, half a year. So it's nice to see it come to an end, and I wonder what the hell the future holds. Either way, good fucking story. I'm glad how it worked out. Simple, to the point, exciting, fun bullshit. And yeah, fucking Horse. Love him or hate him, he's a shit. He's motherfucking needs flowers too if we're giving out flowers and shit. We'll do Bash, Jake, Brian Jordan. Bash her up.
I enjoyed the hype package that Horse did. I thought it came together quite well. It was one of the better ones overall. And the match itself just kind of went where I expected. He absolutely clubbed the shit out of Spider with those Singapore canes. So he did his job. Spider made him sweat at different times, which, happened. But overall, I think it was just, what we all expected. Horse came out there, beat him up, made it look good, and then sent him on his way.
Sent it to the glue factory. I forgot.
Yeah, I think this is I think this started the gauntlet of what should be looked at as hype packages that you should yearn to do. They all had different styles because I'm pretty sure 4 different people made them. And this is a great example here. It doesn't matter what your style is. It doesn't matter how many skills you have, as long as you understand the reason for having a hype package. You're trying to tell that story. You're trying to draw people in. You're trying to, in a sense, recap what has happened and really punch it home as to why this match is so important. This match, maybe not above all, but right in line with the rest of the ones that we'll talk about, was, and including Owen and Sheldon, was perfect for that. Like, it was crude because Blacksmith is crude. That's his whole appeal. But it relayed the point. The music choice with the legacy at the first part, this is, we mentioned on commentary, Spider doesn't care about much. He's a cartoon character, but at the end of the day, he cares about the people he calls family. He's stepping up to be kind of the final boss of TTT in this sense. He brings out Illuminati in that way. So I think the video package was great. And it set the tone for the rest of the night as you hit this gauntlet. And Spider coming out with the ridiculous Illuminati get up, it was kind of a mishmash. I'm still going to point this out because it has to be said. This is not Spider. It's just not Spider. I mean, anybody with 2 eyes can tell that it is not. I don't know who is under the mask, but this guy is not Spider. He doesn't have... If you have seen Ryu Matsumoto, the GM, you know that his entire body is tatted up with Yakuza tattoos. This man was not. So, yes, Blacksmith did complete the story or finish the circle or however you want to say it, but he didn't actually beat Ryu Matsumoto. And until that question is answered,
oh no,
you either have to tell me one of two. You have to tell me one of two things. You have to tell me, one, that Spider sent out this random dude who everybody could clearly tell wasn't Spider, and he lost on his behalf, or 2, Spider is too stupid and too lazy to actually recreate his character in a way to send the season off in a way. And I'm not willing to take the leap to go number 2 because that's never how he's been. So I look forward to see what the next development of this match is. But the match itself was terrific. Both people played to how you would expect them to play. The hardcore variants were there. Blacksmith was in control the whole time. The FPR break, unacceptable, as we've all agreed. We have all agreed on that, right? We agree that the FPR breaks, especially
I think
the
he
hard
might
ones,
be getting. I think whoever this guy is might be
unacceptable.
getting suspended. As a matter of fact,
Yeah, I think it may have been Ashley Moore under the hood. But whatever way you want to
way to
spill
lighten
it,
the mood, Dick.
it could have been. It could have been better. Thank God for
Could have
Blacksmith
been.
for being
Shit.
on the ball to make sure that the actual end product was great. But this wasn't Spider. This was Eric Angle, and that's all I got to say about that.
That's fucking great. Yeah, you're right. That's an excellent point. And even though it says Ryu Matsumoto, not Illuminati, there's a lot of shenanigans going on here. I don't appreciate it. I'm suspending everybody. Fuck it. Brian Jordan, you're up.
I really like the hype package, as what Jake said. That's just, this was a feud that that definitely benefited from having it. The one thing is I did not like the match. I was not in love with it. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's really not that hard to kind of learn how to play the game. And we've actually seen this before when you guys did the 3v3 with 2K22. I could tell that Spider, Dims, and Nate did not really know how to play the game. I could tell with this match as well that I don't think Spider really plays the game at all or much at all. We've seen with some of the older guys, as much as I want to vomit, but like Pew plays just fine. The man can win matches and can do really good matches. Mugen plays the game just fine. So I think from like an OCW standpoint, I would really just like to see someone, if you're going to be on a pay-per-view, and if you're like, especially for a feud like this, just put, I don't know, dude, like put an hour a week into just practicing the game. It's Spider, I don't think ever hit a single breaker, whether that's by Horse constantly switching up or Spider not knowing or whatever. I just really feel like there was a lot of left on the table that we should have been able to see, but I feel like due to player not knowing how to play, you don't really, you left a lot. But I mean, at least the people won, because there was a lot of fucking money on this match, so that was dope.
Well, to counter Spider being trash, he did just fine with Owen. I think it might have just been Horace's fucking on his shit. Because we've seen when people are on their shit in the game, you can't do nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
Bash, you're up. Wait, no, we spoke about you already. My bad.
Yes. Next thing.
Well, in that case.
Yeah, you want to hop back in? You want to hop back in?
Yeah. In that case, I'll break out because, mainly for one reason. I was watching the clip here as Blacksmith comes out, and I do see that the Yakuza tattoo is on the chest. So
it could have been a glitch.
So I will chalk this one up. Clearly, the call was there. So I'm going to chalk this up to the game not letting Spider's custom textures come on him, which happens all the time. Like we saw with C-Note and Mark Reese earlier, where Smythe the Wonder was on his butt cheeks when it should have been something else. And it happens anybody that plays in OCW knows that this happens from time to time. Everybody should be downloading each other's call, but even then it doesn't always work. So
I've seen horrible shit.
But I have to make that a point because I brought it up in the chat and I brought it up here. No, not fuck Spider. Spider is the defender of our patriarchy. So that's I wanted to get that. I wanted to get that out there. It was actually Spider, and I do. The more that you talk about it, with Owen and with Empress and with all the matches he's had, I think it was just super bad luck. But Brian, I think it works in the sense that we're watching Spider, whether it was bad luck or whether he knows how to play the game or not. He certainly doesn't know how to do it well enough to compete with somebody who does it more regularly. So it worked out in kayfabe either way. And that's kind of what I'm trying to maintain is like, as long as the final product that we saw was good and everything was upheld, then I don't think it's worth making a big fuss over.
I mean, it was upheld just because Mateo knows how to fucking reverse.
That's correct. Spider couldn't do it. We saw it in other matches, though. Some guys just, sometimes you have a bad night. And we're about to see a bad night here in a little bit, but we'll get to that later.
All right. What do we have next? We have.
Tag team match.
Wow, did I fucking skip it by mistake? Hold up. Oh yeah, I did.
No, tag team match was next.
I did hit it. I skipped it though. I went ahead.
Gotcha.
We have my favorite team in all in the history of the entire world, even more better than CQC. We have Cascom taking on the Perfect Storm. This was a fun match for me. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I always enjoy like matches with these people involved anyway because of the shenanigans and chicanery that involves. So the simple fact that Jake or Quartz of all people was trying to get those receipts on Cass, only to get fucking caught back. I love a little bullshit story time like that. It was a fun match. I did not expect the outcome, honestly. I thought what was going to happen is they were going to keep Rex at bay because he's a dangerous one to just beat the shit out of Cass and call it a fucking day, kick him in the nuts and call it whatever. But, Cass isn't bad. He just plays how he plays and whatever. It was a fun fucking match. Very, very tag matchy, very chaotic. Great fucking finish. It told a mini story. I'm done gushing. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to pick one person, and then when they're done speaking, someone else will jump in, and you guys can be adults. So we'll pick Brian Jordan first, and then Bash or Jake can jump in after he's done.
I hated this match. I hate the name that you guys run into the ground with your joke.
We'll continue to.
Don't say you guys. Please don't do that.
I'm sorry, Jake, you're exempt from it. The motherfuckers who know what they're doing know what they're doing. It's just like the green bar meme. It's going to get beaten so bad, it's going to be like these nuts.
Do I try to bring it back?
The wrong team won. Like, everything about this was an astronomical fuck up, and I hate it. Because as much as I hate Perfect Storm, fucking Cass and Rex winning, and Cass weaseling in at the last second and hitting a fucking finisher, and that being it, devastated me, broke my heart. I didn't bet on this match because I knew God was going to torment me after Spider burnt 170,000 of my dollars.
Coward.
And fucking, yeah, I mean, wrong team fucking won, and Perfect Storm, I hope Quartz is even more psychotic next season and just starts hitting people with cars, because they don't need to be on this pay-per-view. He can just hit him with a semi-truck, and we're good to go.
Jim.
Ooh,
all
polite.
Right. So, no, this is his match. He can go last.
Ooh.
So, I enjoyed the match. Overall, I thought that Cass was very impressive in terms of he doesn't play OCW matches as often as everybody else in the match. So, his flurries back and forth. Rex really kind of acted as a tank early in the match and kind of sponged a lot of the damage as he did his own to Perfect Storm. So Cass kind of came in and he was the freshest man throughout the rest of the match for the most part. So I noticed that strategy. So it was a good tag team strategy. And they're funny. At the end, the whole little pushing thing back and forth, I enjoyed that, made me laugh. And we'll see where Perfect Storm goes from here. They've had two kind of tough losses. The one they had to the Believers, and now this one. Although they've been successful at other times as well. So where does that leave Perfect Storm? Are they still on the same page after this loss? Because, it's probably pretty deeply personal to both of them. So I'll let Jake pick it up from there.
Yeah, I'll start with this. And I've been doing this for a year, it seems like. This whole narrative that Cass doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know how to play the game, like, I can't get behind that. I've played him enough. I've seen him play enough. Like, yeah, he loses on TV, and maybe he's not, like, perfect in terms of a competitor. But when you actually play him, you'll see he plays so different and engages so differently than anybody else does that it throws your timing off. And, yeah, he may have lost a lot of the matches that he was a part of, but he won some of them, too. And even the matches that he lost weren't not competitive. I feuded with him for 9 fucking months last year. I think I should know. But at the end of the day, some people will only see the ending. And yeah, I mean, even Cass doesn't believe in himself. Cass the whole time was like, Rex, you need to carry. You need to carry. The match itself, I thought, had a perfect story that was built in. It was pretty low key compared to some of the other stuff that all 4 men have done, which I don't think is a bad thing. Given where everybody was at the time, I thought it was a perfect way to end the season. Speaking of people winning matches, but people only paying attention to the losses, guys, we have been fighting on TV, on pay-per-view, segment after segment, big match after big match, and all anybody wants to talk about is Cass Cum and the Believers. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. This match I was so proud of. It's been one of my favorite matches of the year, despite the fact that we lost. The whole story was perfect. Rex and H2O didn't get their hands on each other for a long time. They shared a bulk of the in-ring action here. In fact, the first 2 fins hit for each team were from H2O to Rex, both of them, and Rex to H2O, both of them.
Yeah.
And then the final one was Cass hitting a comeuppance cessation on courts. I didn't want it to happen. My whole thing was to charge into him and wait for the finisher, but he hit it super quick because Cass plays differently. And I was happy with that. I think it ended great. Obviously, I would have liked to get a hype package out there, but my life is falling apart.
Don't worry about it.
I can't do that all the time. The brawling sequence on the outside was probably my favorite part of it, but I didn't think it dragged at any point, despite tag matches maybe having the propensity to do so. The ending was great. Court's coming in. It's going to be Black Phoenix. No, he's knee lifted immediately. The cessation. Cass, after years and years and years of being unable to finish the job, does it in the best way possible to end the season. Though I will say, the match itself I thought was awesome, but the ending, I didn't expect that at all. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that as soon as the victory starts to play, Rex is going to pull him in, hit him with the lariat, but that didn't happen. So now I'm kind of thinking, am I going to have to deal with these 2 fucking losers going into season 19? That's a big question mark, especially as the tag team championships have changed hands. Our goal has not changed. So Rex and Cassidy Hayes, he wants to be Quartz, he wishes, are now on some kind of same page, and I guess we have to wait and see till 2K24.
Can I say one last thing before we move on?
Sure.
Jake, I know you're super hard on yourself with certain things when it comes to OCW. The one thing that I'm going to be rather stern on this, that I'm not going to let you say, is outside your real life stuff. It is not solely on you for doing a hype package. You have 3 other individuals that, whether they all can't do it themselves, there are more than enough people that were involved with that feud that they could have collabed and made one. I want to say that was Max's statement that I'm just voicing, but I do completely agree with it.
I saw it, but here's my thing. There's 2 things I want to point to that. One, this was the case in both feuds I was in, and what did I do in the other one? I was like, hey, this isn't going to happen. Can somebody help? And you did, and we'll get to that later. I did not do that for this one. And 2, I don't think this match warranted one. And I don't know if you agree with that. It's always going to be bonus points, plus to me. As I said earlier, it's always going to be an added thing. But at the end of the day, the reason that I didn't say, hey, guys, can somebody please try, is because I thought this was a good way to break up the action between some of the very emotional feuds that we have had. And this, to my own admission, was built largely in RPs and not in big, crazy segments. So I thought it was a good opportunity to kind of just let it ride. But I do understand what you mean. And I do want to say that I did not ask, and I would ask otherwise. So
I think it's
shout out to everybody involved.
Due to the fact you guys all have history, if this was Jinx versus Stuart Cockburn and they don't know each other from the hole in the wall, like we had on Endgames, for example, how are you going to hype package that really? But I think it's just from your history, but I understand what you're saying in terms of in terms of the match and the way it was built and stuff like that. I just think you guys are all 4 at a certain level of stardom where there's enough history between you to where there could be information that could be put together from that. But, it's a creative choice in the end. I just think that, personally, when you get a pay-per-view spot, hype package accompanies that. But that's, again, everybody has a different perspective on that. You say it's bonus points.
No doubt about it. If a hype package was here, I don't think it would have taken anything away. I think it only would have added. But it just didn't work out this time. And that's okay.
I mean, do you really want fucking Michael to do a fucking hype package? I'd rather shave my face with a razor
because I actually trust my tech partner.
You fucking scumbag. Anyway,
that's the other team.
All I'll add to this was I wouldn't trust Rex or Hayden or fucking Michael to do anything. All I'll add to this is the tag in for the lariat popped me huge. Good fucking fun match. Anyway, moving on. We have barbed wire unloaded, reloaded, reshot in. Yeah, it worked out well in the end. Uncensored, I suppose. A good usage. So fun fact. In old OCW, we sometimes had movie trailers. So the trick is to never show the face during the actual cinema portion and only use whatever when you can, and that's basically what Marissa did. So fucking shout out to that. It was fun. Didn't overstay its welcome. Old footage, so I can't complain because that shit ain't gonna get flagged because it's old as fuck. Fun little montage. Basically, Marissa, what's she doing now? I guess she go do a movie. So we'll see you in August or some shit like that. Fucking floor is yours. Anybody speak? I don't give a shit.
Marissa is the newest age Valkyrie, and I'm gonna make a crazy call right now.
I think Marissa's sports entertainment machine, basically.
I think Marissa Welsh is the biggest female sports entertainment machine that we have seen since Valkyrie. She is the biggest star in the women's division. I literally took them because you eloquated them more than I could have. And you talked about it. I think more than avoiding a DMCA claim, Marissa did this perfectly in the way that she intercut the actual action movie.
Yes.
To where it wasn't clear enough that it wasn't her. Because if you focus in on the actual actress, you would be able to go, oh, that's not Marissa. But oh my God, Rye is so talented, and this is amazing. So many people would get a bombshell like, hey, this whole person that has kind of defined your career over the last 2.5 years is taking a break, and I mentioned that. But the fact that Marissa is able to go like, all right, cool, I'm going to immediately put myself into multiple storylines and also make myself a movie star is a crazy level of self-inventory, a crazy level of humility, and just an ability to adapt on the fly to whatever is happening at the time. That is why she is and will remain the top draw that is happening right now, despite the fact that we now have 2 championships. It's really crazy to see.
Whoever's next, chime the fuck in.
Go ahead, Jim.
That's fine. All right. I really like this. I think Marissa's developing more layers to the character, and I guess the word sports entertainment, in terms of sports entertainee or whatever, is right on the money. Is the way that I feel about it. I really like that she's kind of moving past the stories that she was in, the stuff like kind of being the thing that walked beside Nate Mack, the person, and really just branching out and doing more for herself, and where this will bring her in terms of potential championship contention, as she's had before, down the line. I think she's really like the next big star that's ready to try and take over the women's division. So we'll have to see what happens next.
Was the case 4 years ago.
Rookie of the year, Brian, go
ahead. Other than what Jake and Jim already said, I'm just going to continue giving the dude his flowers. I think Rye is absolutely one of the modern day GOATs when it comes to handlers. This dude has continuously shown, whether it's Bobby, Marissa, Claudio/Claude, Ryvon, Mina V, it really does not matter. This dude constantly is a fucking workhorse for OCW, and you can put anything Rye does anywhere. Like, I think, honestly, this segment, normally on TV, you'd probably be like, why is it here? But for the pay-per-view, I think this serves tremendous for needing to break up all the matches, because obviously, like, there was a lot of matches on the card, and there was a lot of high moments. And yeah, Rye is just great. I love you forever, Rye, and amazing work.
Well said. Moving right along. Commercial.
CCW.
CCW. We have the hype packet for CCW and the CCW match. Fun fucking match. I don't know. I don't think anyone cares, but just for the fucking sake of transparency, this was going to be second to last. The only reason it was changed was because of the thing that happened in the women's match that I felt would have been good. And oddly enough, I gave all you motherfuckers too much credit because I was like, hey, Jake, you think if I move this, they'll think something's up?
What did I tell you?
Yeah, not a fucking clue. No. Not a fucking clue.
Not a clue.
Not a fucking clue. So I give you guys too much credit for being... I was going to be rude. Never mind. I give you guys too much credit. Anyway, that being said, Swaparoo.
That's a very nice way of saying that you're the most paranoid man in America.
I'm not paranoid. I just don't like motherfuckers. Anyway, moving on.
You assume things all the time, and we're like, no.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is. I do Criminal Minds, so I just assume the worst out of everything, and that's just how I'm wired, and that's how it's gonna be to the end of time. It's fine. Either way, this match very entertaining. I didn't know where to call it, But Jake said it, and I'll say it too. That fucking ending sequence was great. Fucking Isu working the ligaments was great. I kind of want Isu to win because Adam's doing the whole fucking. I'm so old and tired, and I can still fight. So I'm like, oh, this motherfucker retiring. He's not gonna make it 24, whatever. But I guess not. He told me to go fuck myself. If I had complaints on presentation, which I do, producer's notes, I would say that I wish he would have changed the color palette of the shit he wore when he lost to El Parca and Isu. Change that a little bit. And I would also say to wear the full bomber jacket instead of the fucking the other one, which he wore. I forgot what it's called, but the old original B-17 when he had that fucking weird greaser haircut and the bomber jacket. That was like we got kind of like a hybrid of modern and old. So whatever. That's just the mini crying about it. But yeah, again, match was solid, no complaints. Down to the fucking wire. Ending was fucking dope. What the fuck more can you want? Title match. B-17 shows he still got it. Kind of. So good for him. We'll do fuck it. Brian Jordan first, then everybody else chime in. I'll go fuck. Go ahead.
I don't think anyone could have came out of this match looking as a loser. And it honestly, I felt proven when that happened. I feel like a lot of people.
Did you bet on this one?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I bet on B-17.
Coward.
I feel like a lot of people wrote off B-17 simply because of exactly what you said. Adam is like, ooh, I'm hurting, I'm dying, yada yada. But with Rust obviously being preoccupied in the lobby and Rust Cole not being in the main event scene at the moment, I really do like Isu taking the step up into the CCW title scene. Obviously, I have been a critique of the CCW title for quite some time, and this match definitely helped its standing in my eyes. Either man could have won this match, and either guy would have been, and right now with B-17 is going to hopefully continue being a good CCW champion. The only thing that I probably would have liked to see is maybe not the post-match stuff between him and Isu, because I feel like you probably could have maybe saved that. Maybe pulled kind of like a Mark Henry-ish type angle where B-17 goes out, I have to retire or whatever, and then Isu is like, nah, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you, and you're going to be so angry, you have to defend against me again. The hype package was straight money and baller, its own style, like Jake said earlier. So yeah, a round of applause for the match. Both, Rust came swinging with the attire for Isu, and then the Tron. I think the Tron could have been just a little bit smidge better presentation-wise, but, it is what it is. You showed up, did what you had to do, proud of you. I disagree with Jay on the B-17 attire, like his actual, the tights and the belt. Off of the intricacy of it, I liked it, and I'm glad that he didn't get rid of it. I also, low-key, not trying to throw shade on you, Adam, I highly doubt he was the one that made it. So he probably just was doing it with what he had. But B-17 retained, man. Doom Machine's not back, but Old Man Bingo's here to stay, potentially.
Fuck you, that's great.
Bash.
All right. First of all, that man's not going into a retirement home before I get a chance to beat his ass. That's
fuck you. You think you're nice because you fucking put on a potential with this fucking old bastard? No. He'll kill you. He'll kill you.
No. Okay. Well, all right.
Fuck you, rookie. You're not getting no CCW Tasha anyway.
Keep thinking that.
Eat a dick.
That's not what I don't care about that. Fuck your pixels. I don't care about none of that stuff.
Tell him.
I just want.
Don't let Jay make you feel bad about wanting gold.
No, I will make everyone feel bad.
Completely different conversation. As far as the match is concerned, he performed. He did well. He pulled it out, and he looks like an old man at this point. Who got his other arm wrenched the entire match, so he can't have a good shoulder at all at this point. So he's really playing the beat up old man champion quite well. Isu, I really dig the new look and the new Tron and stuff like that. Like Russ really brought it there. I gotta tell you. You know, I appreciated kind of the throwbacks to B17 stuff because I have gone back and watched a bunch of his old stuff, you know, in the past, you know, just kind of doing stuff with him. So just wanted to know the character, and I thought that it was a nice little homage to all of that as well. Uh, Overall, you know, the post match, I think just B wanted to have, you know, that thing where Isu still got his heat back, you know, and he's still a strong heel moving forward, which I see him as personally. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really up there, and you know, sometimes you know it's about the timing in the match, and they did really well with that, and it just wasn't overly long. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. So I got a lot to say here. Number one, on the hype package, this is exactly what I was talking about when we kicked things off with Owen and Sheldon. Not to say that the ones that came before that were bad by any means, but that they all kicked off a theme of trying to convey the story and the stakes that were in front of you. And this did a great job of that. It showed Isu as kind of the corrupt guy who had accolades on his own, but has turned into this shitbag. And B17 was painted in a very favorable light, which should be the case. Like, he's done some bad things, but you don't need to include that in this because that's not part of the story. That's not part of the narrative. About B17's attire, yeah, I was a little disappointed because after the go home segment, I was expecting full on bingo bomber. I was expecting blue CCW championship, like all I want. Yeah, you don't have to cut your hair or like do any appearance changes, but that is kind of what I wanted. And the hybrid was still good, like the one shoulder blade, the one shoulder pad. Finley deal that he used to wear back in the day. He brought that out. That was nice, but really nothing else was different other than that. So that was a little disappointing, but I get it. However, on the other side of the coin, Isu 100% committed to the difference in character. He did it in the way that he fought, and he did it in the way that he dressed, and the way that he came out and during his entrance. So the win goes to Isu in the presentation storytelling department. Though the match is probably my match of the night, just between the ropes. If you don't have anything else, this is very, very close with the OCW title main event because these guys worked their asses off and played in a way that made sense for each of their characters. And on that point, too, I wanted to say, like, this is why I try and focus more on kayfabe than anything else, than like the rules or this or that. And I know sometimes it's not avoidable, and I'm plenty guilty of shitting on people for non-kayfabe stuff, but this is why, because this is a perfect transition, as Brian said. I may disagree with him on B17's presentation, but I absolutely agree that this was the right move for Isu. Isu has been the kind of mid-card final boss for a very long time. He had his peak at OCW 19, and it's very easy to look at this and go like, oh, Rust, like Pierre and another like big high-profile match. But if you just watch the show and you don't know all the behind the scenes stuff, like imagine you're somebody who just tunes into Twitch and like you get this whole story from start to finish. It makes perfect sense. And the way that the match went made perfect sense as well. You could have held off on the post-match beatdown. But you know, I could take it or leave it. Right now, all it tells me is that Isu is not done in this status. It may not even mean that he's coming for the CCW title, but it could mean that, like, yeah, you know, I may have lost this match, but I'm not just going to disappear. You know, like Victor Carmine's a good example. Victor Carmine getting murdered tonight kind of gives you a different idea than Isu did. And both of them kind of came from the same standpoint. For B17, I am glad that he retained. It made the main event that much better. I think a title change here leading into the OCW match may have dampened it a little bit, so I'm glad that we did not get that. And that ending sequence, that shout out to Invictus, whether it was all intentional or not, maybe you didn't have a perfect Jacob Trance giveaway, but lifts him up, hits the greatest knee of all time, Shades of Aries, hits the German suplex, which I am attributing to Jacob Trance, and then immediately goes right into the Mugen died for my sins powerbomb. He hit the discount cutter several times to set it up. An excellent homage. If you know, you know. If you don't, it was still cool to watch. That's all I got.
Very good. I just shout out to him yelling for his wife with the title "Die" before the match. So that was fun. That being said, we're moving right along. Let's get the finish on the video. Oh, post-match beatdown. Good stuff. We got everybody moving on. We have the Whammons, the women's recap, which I think basically brought it down very WWE-esque in the sense of giving the information required to know what the fuck is happening, laying it out in bare numbers and shit like that. So good on that shit. The match itself, three-way was interesting. Usually, I always say that Cheyenne shines in three ways, but apparently there's a meme now that Jake posted of the fucking Doge, where Cheyenne and when stakes are involved, little Doge. Cheyenne when stakes not involved, big Doge. Yeah, it was something, but basically like it kind of led up to what happened after. So long story short, Deborah sneaking the win was very on brand as well. Very nice to see that. It's like veteran instinct. And then it's kind of like we should probably talk about all things separately. So I'll just leave it up. I'll leave it like that. So I'll talk about the hype package and the match. So the hype package and the match did what it had to do. The match itself did what it had to do. Deborah looking strong as hell. And then we'll move on to the next part. So we'll do a two-parter. So we'll do that part. We'll start with Bash, then Brian Jordan, then Jake. Go ahead.
Starting with the hype package, I enjoyed the narration. I thought it came across very well. It was presented in a very professional manner, so great job to everyone involved there. And just overall, it kind of told the story of these three women and their really kind of paths crossing. Because really, I don't think outside of maybe Deborah and Cheyenne, a little bit during the summer last year, there was much history there. So I enjoyed that part of it, and then the match itself, it was a great match. It went very back and forth. There were times where I thought that Joanna and Cheyenne went after each other a little bit too much and probably needed to focus on Deborah a little bit more. But that's the nature of a three-way. And again, I guess the whole thing is Cheyenne comes up short, in big moments, even though she looks dominant most of the time otherwise. So that narrative continues, and I think it's something that Che could use it to springboard a babyface movement if she wants to do that.
With Sheldon.
With Sheldon. I mean, because Sheldon's definitely a huge babyface right now. I would absolutely love to see, some type of mixed tag team situation, maybe Owen and Joanna versus Sheldon and Cheyenne. That would be a really cool type situation that could go on in between pay-per-views or maybe even to a pay-per-view, who knows, but that would be very interesting. And overall I enjoyed it. And you want me to talk about the second part, or you just want to
we'll do that in the next round because I feel like they're two separate matches, but they were both equally exciting. Who the fuck is next? Brian Jordan, you're up.
Brian.
I mean, yeah, the hype package is the hype package. I don't really know what to say much about it. I wasn't in love with it. I'm still trying to kind of hone in on the style that I'm trying to do with that. The match itself, Joanna was fucking robbed. And this is the exact reason why Joanna didn't want that little brat involved in the match, because beautiful Deborah was able to walk away with the championship when Joanna was not involved in the finish. So yeah, fuck Cheyenne. And Brian Williams still loves Deborah, baby. Let's go.
Well, Jake, you're up, but we also need to mention what happened after that match too, with Cheyenne getting, reprogrammed. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, we can include that in the whole post-match fracas. I won't let you stand in here and try and put this video down, because it did exactly what we always tell everybody that it should do. Like, if we're talking about nitpicks, we're talking about aspect ratios at the end, but that's not the feeling. That's a technical thing that doesn't matter, because none of us are paid to do this. And the fact that this was put together as well as it was, the whole first half, because I hadn't seen it until tonight, the whole first half being a kind of Deborah Soto tribute of like, oh, day this, day that, and then the question mark that leads right into both challengers and aptly explains why each challenger should have their shot at the title, which was my whole pitch to them in the first place. I came in and I'm like, oh my God, the only two people who have ever had any leg up on Deborah throughout this whole run have been Cheyenne and have been Joanna, and the hype package showed that perfectly with the tag match loss and the disqualification finish, and then everything that came after that, and how all three of these women are bad bitches. There was a comment made earlier, like, you don't want to put anybody down because when you beat them, blah, blah, blah. This didn't do that. This was like all three of these women felt like main eventers at that point, which I think some people may have disagreed on coming into it, especially with Joanna being kind of the not out of left field, but just like she hasn't worked as much as the other two. So it was easy to be like, oh, this big woman is just going to come in here and get a title shot. But no, she has had presence in 2K19 and now this. The match didn't go. I think you could ask anybody that was in the match and nobody would have expected it to go this way. None of us really did. I thought it had a good back and forth. There were like 3 stages for me. There were one where it was Cheyenne getting ganged up on by the 2 bigger women, and then it was the 2 challengers ganging up on the champion, and then it was kind of Deborah running around for her life, and it was chaos at that point. Look, when the red light is on, this is why I tell people you go for the SIG, you go for the Finn. When that red light is on, you don't know how people are going to feel. It's nerve-wracking. It's tough. It's not always as easy as playing an offline match. So we saw that happen, the SIG in the corner, 6-minute match, easy peasy. And that led us right into what we're going to talk about after.
So we had a post match fracas. I believe that was River. You said Lady Calais. I guess Brian.
I think it was River. I think you're right. I agree with you.
And then you said in post you were going to fix it, and you never did. So I just let it ride.
No. I didn't like when I fixed it. I was like, no, I want me to be wrong here because it means I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Cheyenne's goofy ass gets reprogrammed, and then it's not over though, because then out of nowhere, who would have thought this would happen? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that
maybe John,
that Florence Jo would opt to cash in on the champion after she said she was going for resolution? And we won't talk about the intricacies of that, but no, it was a good fucking pop. Unfortunately, I had to be let know ahead of time, but yeah, no, it was a good fucking pop. But I didn't know the outcome, so I was just watching with bated breath, like, oh guys, fucking Flojo gonna win. And yeah, I think this is what helped the temperature of the match reach optimal doneness, if you will, food analogy. Nobody saw this coming. I knew about it obviously because fucking life, but no one on the thing saw it coming. So no one got it. You were right, Jake. Nobody fucking caught it. Nobody until the music hit. Wait a minute, what? And then we had the fucking match. And I wish I would have put the betting a little earlier, maybe, or actually shorter rather.
Shorter, yeah.
Yeah, shorter, just in case. But yeah, no, a lot of people voted for fucking Deborah. Some people wanted for Flojo. When fucking Flojo started coming back, I was like, fuck, I should have just put 30 seconds right before Flojo started coming back just to fuck with people. But whatever, yeah, cash in. A good cash in, man. But as it was stated in the stone tablets of yore, don't cash in on fucking Jake in the season finale. It's just not good. John Carter learned the lesson, and now Florence Jo has learned the lesson as well. Overall, very entertaining match. I'm gonna count it as 2 separate matches, but it was very, very entertaining. It came down to the wire, and as I told Jake in third season 19, I need a super through the filter to be a super finisher, because at this point, this fucking thing is destroying everybody. That's like the second or third time it's fucking murdered somebody just off rip. So we need that super finisher, a super through the filter. That being said, we will do Bash, then Brian Jordan, then Jake Allen.
All right. So, by the way, I really liked Flojo's gear. It was a little bit of a, hey, I'm in Toronto with C-Note, and I went to the Comic-Con too.
Fucking
you know what
nerd,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And the big leg being hit also, as I just saw. I'm sorry, Jim. I had to cut you off.
No,
the 2 legs missed. 2 big legs missed on each different lady, but on fucking Flojo it hit. That's a bad omen. Continue, Jim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and then, of course, the rolling flow didn't happen in this match the way it needed to, but it did happen in the Reese and C-Note match, which is pretty interesting. If you really look at it, maybe he stole her thunder a little bit there earlier in the night, and it didn't quite connect for her. I'm a Flojo fan. I think Gooch works hard and has done a good job in terms of writing. Trying to change the character a little bit, get that more pure babyface vibe out of Flojo when Flojo did some pretty dastardly things earlier in the season. So I have a lot of respect for that. That being said, I think that this was probably a better idea than trying to do it at Lucian, honestly. Have it hanging over your head type thing. Once you hold on to those briefcases for so long, you got to have a plan for them, right? Like the Otherwise, you kind of flounder, and I think there were times that FloJo did flounder. But, despite falling short, I think this gives FloJo the ability to kind of move forward and recraft the character and how they want to be presented moving forward, maybe get another opportunity down the line. But enjoyed the match.
Yes. Brian Jordan?
So that was the gift to OCW that you've seen. Just to be kind of a little snarky to you, it's Kaylee, but that is not Kaylee.
No, it is not.
I am very impressed with Deborah that, you essentially it's funny because she weaseled her way out of the triple threat by stealing the victory and was probably thinking, yo, I'm fucking home free, baby. And then FloJo comes through and it's like, nah, sorry, sister, you actually have to defend your title again. I completely agree with you, Jimmy, with the FI. When you hold FI for so long, it essentially becomes a part of you. And I think with both of our FIs, when C-Note had it, before he cashed in at Anniversary, and with FloJo, I think both of them held on to it for a very long time, and I don't think either of them had a very clear-cut vision of what they wanted to do while holding the case. I really hope this loss doesn't make Gooch kind of go into stereotypical potential Gooch habits and maybe slither off and fuck off for a while. I always look at FloJo as a babyface. I can't really get behind FloJo as a heel. So to see, she is kind of trying to turn that leaf with the Caesar Dojo and, with Dragana and Harper and, at the time, AJM. I do like that. I hope she continues with that. I do not think it was an appropriate time for her to be the women's champion. I feel like with the proper rebuild, then, I would love to perhaps see a FloJo versus Deborah down the line where, maybe FloJo's more confident and, more, hey, I'm ready now to do this. Whereas, kind of with the FI was more so, I have this, I have to use it at some point. Deborah, yet again, man, the second time now she has defended her title successfully by winning off of that signature. So, yeah, baby, as Jake said, red light, man. That shit be making everything change. And kudos to Jake for surviving that, because that's not an easy task, especially with this game. Getting cashed in on is not as kind of gamey as you could do it with 2K19.
You gotta get lucky, man.
Yep,
you gotta
absolutely.
Get lucky.
So kudos to that. All around, definitely one of my favorite feuds that I have done in my 5 years of being in OCW with any of my characters. So very big thank you to Shay and Jake for, doing that feud and the platform that we were given. And yeah, good shit from the women's division. They're making me eat my words more and more each day.
Fuck it, Jake.
Yeah.
You're up.
We, boss at this point.
Did you just yell fuck when you won? Like, fuck!
Yes, both times. Yeah, obviously things are not great for me right now, IRL, but I'm trying not to let that slip into our fun kind of side hobby here. The feud, especially in the latter half of it, took a lot out of me just to get out. So I'm glad we were able to turn it into something super fun. I didn't expect the match to be that short. I honestly thought it was going to be a slog. Like okay, we better start recording early because this shit may take forever. And if it goes 10 plus minutes, the game can't be relied on to do it. And then it ended in 5.5, 6.5, something like that. So yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you anything can happen in OCW. You just play as your character. That's what I did with Deborah. You see it, like the ending is obviously the biggest thing, but when she tries to slip in and steal it like a number of times. So you just do that and like let the cards fall where they do. I did know of the cash-in ahead of time, but much like last year when I was supposed to fight Rex and John in the last Blacksmith in a triple threat match on Riot 600, obviously Blacksmith had to be taken out of that for real-life reasons, but I knew that heading into that as well, and I didn't tell Rex, and then I was like, all right, hey, I got this post thing I want to do, so like, fuck off. And then that is what ended up happening here. So I told you this already, Jay, but it was funny when Brian was like, oh, I got this, we got this whole post thing. And I want to apologize. I think that's River. I think that's River now that we know. Like Jay actually pointed that out to me, but I had no idea at first. And it goes and it does well to establish that though, because her hype packages were so well done that they were very quick, and like her face wasn't really available that much. She didn't have that much presence. So for her to show up here is good, and for me to not know who she was, I didn't want that to be missed out on. I did think it was Lady Kaylee. But anyway, yeah, I knew the FloJo thing was coming. I didn't expect to win the initial match. Then once the second match happens, obviously didn't expect to win that either. You can see, you just go back and watch the match. It's just all luck. It's all luck. Every single time FloJo tries an attack, Deborah has the breaker, has the reversal. Just nothing you can do about it. Didn't even hit a boot, like you said. The through the filter is kind of her finisher at this point. It's funny too. There was the number one contenders match that this is too deep of a lore cut. It's not even necessary, but I do want to mention that back in the day when Deborah was Debbie D, she competed in a 4-way match to see who Ashley Moore's number one contender would be at Summerside 2020. She won by pinning FloJo with through the filter. That was 4 years ago. And to see it come full circle is upsetting. But I like how much emphasis people are putting on what comes next for FloJo, because I felt the same way too after the feud that we had with Tara DeTuris back in 2019, 2020. And FloJo kept that momentum, and she went and won the championship. She lost it pretty quick afterwards, but the momentum that she had after that, she didn't give up, and we can't have that here. There's too many options to bounce out of this, just like with John Carter. You can lean into being resentful and fuck over somebody, or you can lean into being, I tried my best and it didn't work out and I'm going to go that way. That's what John did, and I mean, we see where he is right now. So the only wrong answer I think FloJo has right now is to not try. And that is not what I want to see, especially off of this bullshit fluky ass win.
Well, the beauty of OCW.
How do you like that?
With our how you like that with our the way we're set up is you can post your own little narrative. Honestly, you can go plenty of ways. One way includes fucking blaming Dragana, at which point we get a Dragana FloJo match, which nobody wants to see. I don't want to see fucking Gooch murdered. But we'll see what happens, because it can go either way. That's the beauty of OCW. It can go any fucking way. So me speculating is just speculation, which is the fun part of OCW. You just fucking speculate.
I don't do it very often, Jay, but I do want to take a moment to be a selfish asshole and cordially, officially welcome FloJo into the hall of tried to cash in on me. Cassidy Hayes and John Carter are right there alongside you, so don't feel too bad. Cass is a Hall of Famer, so I mean, you got plenty of good company with you.
One of the characters needs a GFN shirt, and I need it for season 20. And I do, because if you think Cass Cum is being run into the fucking ground, you just fucking wait, dude. You just fucking wait. I've got other. This was a great peeker. I got other people saying get fucked nerd. I got people in the other circles saying get fucked nerd.
I got to put you over here, Jay, before we get to it, because I don't want to delay too much. But I know you messaged me about like not knowing where to put some of these matches. I think it was a great choice for you to put this nonsense chaos in front of the coup de grace, which is what we're about to talk about.
Hey, we don't want to fucking see fucking old B-17 murdered by a fucking weird Asian man. We want to fucking see FloJo's hopes dashed on the rocks of El Debra. Fuck.
Yeah, and then the hopes of the entire OCW faithful were not dashed. So it's a perfect back-to-back. That I've made you more sad than you could possibly be, here is Max Edwards and El Parca.
So speaking of, now we'll get to that. That's my video package. Oh, Mark Reese's thing. We might as well talk about that. So we'll do that free form.
Yeah.
Mark Reese thing went to the point, fucking soul searching, open forum, say what the fuck you want. Hurry up. Anybody get in?
Fixture aspect ratio. The promo was very good. It didn't overstay its welcome. So this is a perfect kind of thing to submit on a pay-per-view if you're in their position.
Anybody else want to chime in? All right, cool. Anyway,
just want to see
where the
searching goes.
Oh, all right. My only concern would be maybe in the future, like get a close-up of Mark Reese and maybe make the text a little smaller, because just from a thumbnail standpoint, it's fucking weird, but that's just minor producer criticism. Anyway, moving on. We have the package that JK's, then we have the actual package for the Max is working. I don't know. Well, who did this? I'm assuming it's Max because he's
Definitely
this has very much Max fingerprints on it. So I'm gonna assume Max. Also
not a quality thing; it's a style thing.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely Max.
Did that need to? Did that not resonate in my statement?
No, I was just trying to make him feel better, and then he immediately was like, "No, that's definitely
that's definitely Max."
Yeah, well, like I said, from a stylistic standpoint, this has Max fingerprints over it. Obviously, someone's been watching tutorials. Very well produced, very well put together, using of actual footage. Basically, like from a producer standpoint, very well done. Like using footage, the fucking Harris getting thrown out, old footage, no HUDs everywhere. You can't really complain. I love it. There's minor quibbles, but no, from a stylistic standpoint, fucking A grade #1. Told the story, gets everybody hyped, gets everybody in the juice. We go to the match itself. Me personally, match itself very entertaining. Probably my match tonight. I don't know. It's going to be up to a vote. It might be. I've never seen El Parca be this vulnerable, which is fucking weird. But then again, Max is fucking crazy. So, I guess that's part of the story. Have we? What, you did me Rodriguez? I don't know. Fuck, I have short-term memory, but it just, I don't know, man.
Max, not recently, though.
Max basically had an answer for fucking everything. Every fucking thing. Max like, nah, I remember that shit. So I guess on one spectrum, Spider doesn't play. Max definitely plays. Who the fuck knows? Good fucking match. What fucking was crazy was the amount of people cheering, happy for holy shit. I haven't had that in a hot minute. But yeah, I wish the betting was higher. It was still pretty high, but it wasn't a horse ride.
They blew their load early. I tried to tell them. Yeah. They blew their load early. They absolutely did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You and Max couldn't bet either. That's fair.
We're betting the big dollars on that match.
The betting for the main event though. The betting for the main event was weird because there's only two people that voted for Max. It was Bolek who fucking cashed in big, and one other person I can't remember who it was. It might have been Sino. I don't know. But everybody else was like, "Oh, El Parca got this." And then as it's happening, I'm like, "Oh man, I'm glad you motherfuckers are losing money." I wish people bet more, but yeah,
I love that feeling.
It's great.
50K.
Yeah, you did too. Yeah, good for you. Get fucked, nerd.
Yeah,
get fucked, hacker nerd.
Got him.
Yeah, no, I can't complain. This is a really good match. Very, very solid match. If I don't have any complaint, it would be if we would get more offense from El Parca, but we did. It was just countered. So it's like you really can't, that's like a minor. Like you can't really say nothing. He tried. He just fucking Max was like, nah, I'm good, B. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
I got more offense too.
Yeah, right. I wish. I wish. No, but
bro, you got enough to get it in finishable range.
And Max is still like, nah, B, I'm good. And then I guess Max is like, don't worry, brother, I'll bury you softly. Like he's hitting 9 finishes a pop. Like, don't worry, brother, I'll make you look good. It took a bunch of extra shots. I'll make you look good, brother. He just cracked this motherfucker's skull. Fuck. But yeah, no. Good match. Solid. Didn't expect that. I thought it would be more down the line or whatever the fuck. But no, good overall match. A good way to end the show. Can't complain about it. Everybody looked like they belong in the fucking main event. I'm happy for fucking Daniel Day-Lewis. It's been, I don't know how long. He's never had a world title, so now he has a world title. He's on OC. I wish it was ECW instead of fucking platform lock and OCW. What are you going to do? We'll do Jake Bash and then Brian Jordan because he's in the match. Jake, you're up.
Yeah, man. This hype package made me more erect than I've been in a long time. I'm very proud of some of the work that I do, but it always pops me huge when I see something that's like, man, there's no way I could touch this. Like I'm an amateur immediately. This is the kind of video that would immediately make me delete my Fiverr account. This was crazy. All of the, not just the transitions and the actual technical effects, but the ability to use that alongside the narrative that you're trying to spin was perfect. He used all real footage. I'm pretty sure that dumb motherfucker AI upscaled a lot of that to make it work, because you can't cut the HUD out and not make it blurry without doing some kind of upscaling. But just big shout out to both of you for carving the story that gave him the inspiration to do this. I say this all the time, not everybody has the same technical skills, but people can still contribute to a feud, even if they're diametrically opposed in terms of technical skill set. And That's not the case here. Both of these guys do great work, but like it's a good example of when you can impress a guy like Max enough. Holy shit, this was an unbelievable hype package. I loved it. Favorite of the night. I don't think this was my favorite match between the ropes of the night. I said that was ISU B17, but the match itself was excellently paced. They had more of a Sheldon Owen pacing to me in the way that they were wrestling, especially in the early going. Some of the taunts in their face.
Yeah.
They're both flashy guys too, so it makes sense. This is what I said before. Play to the character, and good things will come. I didn't expect it to happen. I didn't. Just like when Max won the international title, I didn't expect it. And I think that made it better. That's why Max is like the ultimate babyface. Since he retired Thomas Archer, he has been kind of up there as the ultimate babyface. Parca, I think it worked well because there's a lot of people that don't even look at him as a babyface anymore. They still see him as
a piece of shit.
The piece of shit heel. So it worked well that we had two kind of two tweeners, right? Like Max was doing heelish things in the feud, but El Parca was doing babyface things, but is looked at more as a heel. It's way too nuanced for a general wrestling crowd audience. But I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. The constant Max defense showing that he had everything scouted the whole way continued to blow me away. I love that he went with the climax and then immediately hit the action shot afterwards to get that tired, kind of spent cover. He had all three fins. Beautiful stuff. This is what an OCW main event looks like. I've already talked too much, but I could talk.
It's fine. I like when you're fucking happy and joyous. So would you say this would resemble a WWE main event? I'm just kidding. Bash, you're up.
So I thought both guys did a really good job. The match went, started off with Max very quickly, jumping into a lead and Parca working his way to fight back. And I mean, overall, I really liked the finish as well. Now, the hype package, again, I thought there was some great technical work in that. I personally thought it was probably the best hype package of the night, with the way that it was presented. And overall, the match itself was really up there for me. The way that Max really laid it on at the end and really definitively put his stamp at the end of the match to show, there's no question about this. I'm the champion now. It was absolutely great, even though, fuck you, Parker, you cost me $50K.
That's a lot of fucking.
Oh, I need to pipe in.
Go ahead,
I need to pipe in quick.
Yeah, pipe in excited, Jake.
When Parca walked out with the white tights, I had to cut it from the final, but you heard me say it, Jay. It was just, oof. Like, oh, yeah. Like, I got to tell you, from where we have come from in the production era, there is no pay-per-view I ever walk into where I don't think everyone will understand the assignment. And this show is a great example of that. So shout out to everybody on their excellent attires, even people like B17 who just did like a throwback thing. But man, it was great to see. Thank you.
Brian Jordan, you're up.
I'm going to take just a little bit of time, but I feel like I can do that right now. I think it's very rare where we have a pay-per-view. I think Annie was probably the one where, we obviously almost hit the 100% hype package, but I think to have a pay-per-view kind of like on Deadly Ground, where probably most people are looking at it as kind of like a B show, to kind of have probably two of the best hype packages OCW has ever seen. I don't know when/if we ever see that again. Obviously, it's a very subjective thing. Max, I knew going into the anniversary, regardless of what happened, I was going to work with him. That has been a match that we have been constantly yammering at one another about how we've been together, been in OCW for 5 years, and we only had the one Fatal 4-Way match when we were little baby rookies. So to have the ability to not only main event the pay-per-view, but to main event the pay-per-view with one of my best friends, I'm extremely thankful to you, Jay. I'm extremely thankful to Max. The fact that I was able to have 3 pay-per-view matches was absolutely horrible.
Agreed.
I never want to do that again, even though I probably will kill myself and do it again if I ever am allowed to have that privilege.
Yeah, probably.
But
it's not really a privilege.
No, it's definitely a privilege because you're not going to let anybody, like, I know where you're probably coming from, but like you're not going to let just anybody have 3 pay-per-view matches. Like I know there's a lot that goes into it, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, thank you for allowing me to have that. But yeah, top to bottom, this entire feud. This feud, as everyone has seen, obviously the people who are watching on Twitch that don't know all the inner workings with OCW, clearly, yes, the end game was I wanted Parca Aries. We did not get that. I'm not going to say that this feud compared to it, because both feuds are extremely different in how the delivery was and would have been, but this is absolutely probably my favorite feud as El Parca, and I have done a lot of feuds with him. I usually, and I'm sure Jake can probably sit there and know the feeling a little bit, but it's like, when I lost the match, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, this was Max's crowning moment. He absolutely deserved it. And it, in a way, kind of gave me flashbacks to certified greatness when I beat Harvey for my first world title. I pretty much laid the smackdown on him, and Max did pretty much the same thing to me. And yeah, man, I love Max. Fuck Max. Thank you, Jay. Fuck Spider.
Dude,
I always agree with fuck Spider.
There's nothing better than being like, you are 100% right. Once you're there, it's hard to be a champion as long as you actually give a shit about Jay and OCW and actually want to do a good job. If you don't, then you could just fuck off and whatever. But if you actually care about doing a good job, it is a ball ache of work. And the only thing that kind of makes it worth it, it's not even holding it. It's not even doing that, because that's just all hard work. It's that by the end, somebody else has been crowned that you can be like proud of. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't even say that there's anybody on my list that I would be happier than Max right now. But that's no disrespect even to my own tag partner.
I mean, like, no glazing aside, but yeah, I think this is probably one.
No, I'm glazing.
No,
I'm glazing. I love this man.
I'm talking about. Shut up. I'm talking about me. I'm saying this is probably probably one of the better, if not like the best, Parca feud. It's not super long, but it hit the notes that it needed to hit. So what I'm thinking, like, from my fucking old booger brain, like, I don't want y'all motherfuckers to touch until the next Lucian. Like, I want like this big old weird arc or whatever, and wherever the fuck you guys are at Lucian, this is just me speculating. I don't give a fuck what you're gonna do in the future. You can do what you want anyway. I'm saying, like, I would revisit this at fucking 2025, 2K25, like, when everyone's in a different position or whatever. Maybe Max is still champion, maybe he's not. Maybe he's somewhere, and you fucking y'all show up and then do it again, like kind of like that Isu Parca thing. What was that, 14, 15? I can't fucking remember. The numbers 15. Get all jumbled together. 15. They get all jumbled, like some shit like that. But that's just me and my whatever booking. But no, good fucking match. Can't complain. So my thing is before we wrap up, what I want to do is I want to have a vote, because people are giving me hold up. People are giving
excited.
me. No, people are giving me. Well, oh, you're not gonna keep it as, because remember, this is the last match. But for the last 4 weeks we have a match at night thing, and then from there. So I don't know if what I want to do maybe is, and Jimmy, you like to write, so you could probably write this down. We can pick from the show maybe our top, like, I want to get a gauge of what people would think their match of the night is, and then we can add that to the voting booth, and then we'll vote on the actual, somewhere on the forum, on what the match of the night should be, and then that'll be the match of the night. Because honestly, I really can't. Usually I'll just pick one, but I can't really, because
it's good to do it immediately after. Though.
Yeah. Jake is very, very adamant about B17 versus Thing. I'm kind of big on the Perfect Storm. Cast come. I also kind of feel the same way about maybe the Parca match. I don't know. So it's a buffet of options. So, like, where do we go? So I guess,
what do you want us to do? So
what I want us to do is, in some logistical weird way, maybe we can even include the Twitch chat before we get the fuck out, because we're making great time, by the way. That's why I want to do this little project before we fuck off. I guess maybe pick 2 of your matches of the night, and then, like, if those show up more than once, then we can add it to the list out of the entire show. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Like ranked choice voting, kind of.
Well, there's only 3 of us, so you could just do the top 3. That way, no matter what system you decide on, you at least have a larger base to decide from.
Does that make sense? Sure. All right, that works. Okay, so we'll start with me to make. Well, I'm including this obviously, so maybe that's 4. So for me, I'm gonna put Parca, Parca Max, Perfect Storm, versus Cascom, and then the. That's a hard one. The fucking third one. What the fuck do I want for the third one? Shit. Fuck. I would probably put Jinx Scotty, but they fuck up the audio, so they don't get that. Sorry. Sorry. I'm very stringent. I can be the prick. Everyone else can be nice. Fuck. It's between. Fuck it. I want to put women's FI cash in Flojo versus
Wow. All right.
I'll put that there because it kind of C note maybe, but then it's like you know what? Fuck it. I'll be safe. I'll do horse and
He
Riot.
cares
Fuck
about
it.
this.
Yeah, man. I want to. Yeah, because you fucking. I was gonna say that shit. Say I Twitch. You motherfuckers always assume. So I'm trying to make sure I do my due diligence and get that shit done. So yeah. So those are my 3. Jimmy, make sure you write that down. We'll do.
It'll be on the VOD, Jim. You don't have to write it down.
Well, no, I want him to write it down so that I can put that in the fucking voting booth for the thing, like after the show, because the show's been uploaded. Yeah, I'm trying to use my form. You motherfucker. Sorry.
I want you to.
That
use
was
your
aggressive
form.
for no reason. I apologize. Jimmy, you're up. Your
You
top
got plenty
3.
of reason. You're talking to me. There's always a reason.
My top 3 matches of the night would have to be the FI match would be one of them.
Okay.
I would say that B17 and Isu would be one of them.
Okay.
And then the other one has to be, I think, Mark Reese and Cino. They had a really good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's fucking. So none of the ones I picked. Okay, great. Parca, you're up.
Me?
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Owen Sheldon,
Okay.
Parca Max.
Okay.
This is a tough one. Emp Ashley.
Bold choice. Okay, that's 3. Jake, you're up.
Number 3, C-Note versus Mark Reese.
Okay, that's
number
2 for the C note. Okay.
Isu versus B17.
Okay.
And number 1, Max versus El Parca.
Okay. So roughly in my head, we'll include women's FI. I'm sorry, women's super. The women's champion / FI. Mark Reese and C note. The main event. B17 and El Parca and Owen Sheldon.
I think that's it. Oh, Owen Sheldon, yeah.
And then I guess Ryu thing. Fuck it. That's good.
I got the list.
That's fine.
That's a good slide.
Yeah.
That's a good
Jim's
slice.
got the list.
So that's a good
Jim's
slice.
got it.
That's a great
Jim's
slice.
got it.
So that being said, we can and we did that in record time as well. So we'll wrap up with the following.
Did we? It was 2.5 hours.
No, I'm saying we wrap. That's 2.5 hours on a 3.5 hour pay per view was really great. That's why I always feel extra fast. I'm saying, we would have been done a little earlier, but I added Brian Jordan because he was screaming from the like, please. That's why there's only 2 people on there. Like, you should probably add him. Like, fuck it, why not? Anyway, okay, so
It's better than it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It's great.
That's rude. Don't do that to him.
I love Bolek.
Don't
I
do
want to
that.
get him on. I want to get him out of his shell.
He wasn't on the web show. He wasn't on the viewing party, and like his thing was offline. So I was like, fuck him. He's the one that involved. Nothing. It's fine. It worked out. Anyway, so parting thought. I guess we would the rating system. So when me and Jake finished calling it, he said it was a B minus C plus. I'm sure he's amended that statement.
No, I have not. No.
You haven't. Okay.
No,
fair enough.
It was a B minus show.
Okay,
it doesn't mean it
B-
wasn't good. That's
no.
good. That's good.
That's fine.
rating.
I love it. I love when you fucking whatever and you enunciate. All right. So Jake gives it a B minus. Bash, what do you give it?
I would say solid B.
Solid B. Okay. Is B minus lower than B?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what minus means.
Okay. Fuck you. Don't be coy. Brian Jordan, your thoughts?
B plus.
B plus. Okay. So you got B plus, B minus, and B. Fuck it.
And you're gonna give it a C plus, aren't you?
No. Why do you
okay.
see? Don't like. I know.
Well, no, I thought you would. I thought we were gonna get a royal flush. Like I thought it'd be like a clean.
I have to protect you, Sensation, because when you get so aggressive, fuck them. Let them deal with me. No,
just score it. Look,
yeah,
if you don't take any breaths
I,
between sentences, I can't jump in.
Yeah, it's good. I'm sorry. You're right. That's an excellent point, by the way. That's why I talk about it. So you can't jump in. Keep talking. I want to say B minus B.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think I'd lean towards probably B, but I'll go B minus.
Listen, I don't know if this is intentional, but please don't show the moment of the year Max Edwards winning his first world championship as we're talking about this being a C plus B minus.
Someone needs to clip.
He's coming after you, man.
Clip that on YouTube. Somebody clip that on YouTube as I said it. the B minus,
Holy
the B
shit.
minus bad. No, the B plus
No,
bad
not
boy.
the B minus bad boy is crazy.
That is heel fodder for some one of you assholes that won't.
Look, you said him and El Parca need to fight. You're gonna be fighting him at Lucian for these comments.
Oh my! Yeah, I'll fuck him up. I'll fuck anybody up. Well, me and Rex might have a day. Who the fuck knows? But no, yeah, I say B minus, B plus. Maybe I'll leave that to the voting. Fuck it, I'll leave that to the voting too.
Wait, what do you mean B minus B plus? You're skipping a whole grade.
You're right. I meant B minus B. Like it's
That's
hard.
what I thought.
Yeah, but I think I'm not gonna go C. That's just
Okay.
that's
Nah,
no.
Nah,
It's not
the show definitely deserves.
The
better.
show's awesome. I loved watching it.
C plus was fucking consequence. I'll never forget that consequence, bro.
No, that
There
was
was like
a D plus.
No, it wasn't. There was like 8 matches or 9
There
matches.
was two. There were
3.
two
There was
matches
3
on
matches
that.
that were good. That's why
Yeah,
it was C
it
plus.
was 3. It was like 2 or 3,
There
but it was bad.
There was 3 matches that were good. That's why it was a C plus, or maybe even C minus.
This was not even close
No,
to that. There
that's
were
what I'm saying.
couple of
That's
minor
what I'm
compromising
saying.
things.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I feel like it might be a B minus or a B kind of thing. So whatever, we'll put it to the voting as well. For the
You're
B.
making me feel bad about calling it.
No,
a B
I
plus.
love it.
I'm
when
gonna
you
go
keep
B
it-
minus.
No, fuck
it's
you.
official.
Yeah, you're B minus, and I'll be better. I'll be good because look, Jay Sensation loves you. B. He wants you minus.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway, so before now we're almost done. So closing thoughts. Brian Bash
Come on, just
Jake.
pick an order. It's all good.
Perfect. Because I'm gonna fuck off when I'm done with this. Excellent show. Great season finale. Hats off to everybody in the OCW community. At the end of the day, OCW would not be what it is without all the people that contribute. Once again, fuck Spider. I love you, Max. Amazing win. Fuck your cast cum joke. And thank you once again,
It's
Jay,
great.
for giving me the privilege of being able to do this. Jake, I love you so much. Jimmy, fuck you and DNS. I'll see y'all later.
Bye.
fuck you.
Bash,
All
you're
right.
up.
So I will take this opportunity to say as always, I enjoyed the commentary. So thank you guys, the two of you, and fuck you, Brian, for leaving. And then, overall, I thought this show was very solid, especially for an end-of-season deal. This isn't Summerside or Anniversary or Resolution or anything like that, but it is definitely a place where people got to showcase some of their talents. I want to see Scotty and Jinx continue to try and rise up from that. Congratulations to Owen, how he's going to use this new platform. Congratulations to Max as well on his first World Championship and the things that he's going to do with it. And I have great confidence in the fact that he'll be a really good world champion. And overall, I enjoyed the event. Thank you, Jay, for all the things that you do. And B17, I'm going to get your ass.
Wow. Jake?
Wow. Yeah, a lot of gratitude. I feel like if I burst out into a sea of emotion, then we'll get a repeat of what we got a few weeks ago. And I don't want that.
No need for that. But just
So,
try to give us
show.
Yeah.
The show itself was tremendous. A great escape from reality.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, we've already talked ad nauseum about all the matches. So for me, it's just having any kind of outlet. I'm even looking for more of them right now is great. Everybody is terrific. Continues to put in more and more work every year. I mentioned it in the chat that this is a situation where the shit people are watching in 2028 they're going to make us look amateur. And the fact that we have a community that continues to go upward,
Bold of you.
it's always going to keep going up. I say it now, and there will be people that are saying in 3 years that the shit that we're doing right now is garbage. But the fact that we're moving upwards is something to be proud of. So I am happy to be contributing to something overall. This show was a great send-off. Like Jim said eloquently, it's not one of the major pay-per-views. So it was never going to be like an A+ S tier thing. But to have so many moments that it sent us off into the new unknown in a great way. So now we're walking in with a brand new world champion. We're walking in with these 2 veteran champions who have held the belt a lot. And like, what's next for them? Obviously, Owen and Sheldon's whole thing going on around the international championship. Talos is a huge unknown for the North American title. The tag team championships changed hands, and now we have a brand new Pride champion as well. So things are growing to the point that we can do these, bringing in new titles and crowning new champions and everything. It's just makes me very happy to see. So a lot of gratitude.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you guys April 19th.
Probably earlier, but we'll see. Who the fuck?
Oh
knows?
my!
We'll see. We got shit to do now. Now I actually have time. Like now
we have to play 2K24.
No, yeah,
it's
now I
finally
gotta fucking tell Jimmy like, oh Jimmy, we gotta work on this, that, and the third, and there's other shit in FPS.
Yeah,
like,
you just give me the list, boss. I got you.
Yeah, we'll see. You said you deleted files and you didn't. They're still there, but I'll bring it up later. Anyways,
I did delete the database.
You did not delete it because I checked it yesterday.
Oh,
God damn,
I'm
it doesn't
so
matter.
I'm so glad he's yelling at you now, Jim. I'm passing you the torch.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope you enjoyed OCW season 18. Join us in a couple weeks for season 19. We're still at it. It's been since 2004. I guess we'll stop when I'm dead, and that's no time soon because I got a clean bill of health except for arthritis. Thank you very much. God bless and have a great night. Peace out. Bye.